you shouldn't have called out Peter Obi or Southeast traditional leaders and all whatnot to join you in this, considering the fact that there is a perception that the government of the day it is not in good, it doesn't have a good relationship with him. There are talks that this could be a trap politically and anything could happen to him, considering the fact that you have
I'm tired of those of you who frame these stories.
No, it's not framed. We're not framing the stories. This is we really have the reactions.
I'm used to listen. I'm used to your station. I'm used to your people just making up stories. About nobody can talk about Peter Obi and all that. I'm tired of it.
No, sir, it's to clear out all the narratives. No, it's to clear out all the narratives about.
I'm very sure. I come to your station all the time. You make up stories about Peter Obi.
We don't make up any stories, sir. These are the reactions of Nigerians as to what the intention about this is.
I'm very serious, and I'm going to insist on it. You always make it look like you can talk about anybody. You can abuse Tinubu. You can do this. I even had one of your, I think it's Darlington, who went on air one day on VOP saying, "Oh, all this is because I'm working for Tinubu." That's insulting. If you want to keep your station to just talking about, just rename VOP as Peter Obi, voice of whatever you want to call it, and don't invite people to accept people who agree with you. But they tell me that I shouldn't have called up. Is it Peter Obi the only person I've had?
No, like I said, these were the narratives, and we're trying to clear out all of this.
Can you please listen to me? I called out Sorodo.
Yeah.
I called out Alex Oti. I called out Ojus or Kalu. I went to meet Jonathan Goodluck, former President Goodluck, who I disagree with. And all you can reduce these stories are, if Peter Obi is a CC, if he's a jelly, just protect him as one, but don't bring it up on my, don't bring it to the surface when you're talking to me.
All right, let's look at this. For example, Bayo Onanuga, the presidential spokesperson on information and strategy.
What is Peter Obi afraid of? Tell me. Why can't fight for? If he believes in Nnamdi Kanu, if he believes in Nnamdi, if he believes in justice, why can't Peter Obi fight for Nnamdi Kanu? And every time we have a discussion on DOP, just bring up these very puerile arguments about Peter Obi. You want to trap Peter Obi? Is he a child? If he is, maybe he has a business.
Well, Mr. Moilisho, they feel that ethnicity plays a huge role here.
You don't feel anything.
Okay, fine. Let's look at what Mr. No, it's not my personal opinion, sir. It's not my personal opinion.
Your Jones' opinions.
Okay, fine. Let's look at Mr. Bayo Onanuga reacting to this, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
In markets today, I've been in 6 markets in the last 2 days. 6 markets in this Abuja, campaigning for free Nnamdi Kanu. And you said, who did you talk to? You just make up stories.
Mr. Moilisho, I want to tell you that it wasn't made up. We're trying to clear out the narratives and hear from you precisely the true intention of this. We are not making up anything, sir.
And don't invite people like me.
All right, Mr. Moilisho, let's look at what the president's spokesperson said.
People you agree with.
Mr. Moilisho, please, can you hear me?
This is about Peter Obi and nothing else.
Okay, Mr. Moilisho, can you hear me? The presidential spokesperson on information and strategy complained about it when you talked about it, when you mentioned it. He says that he described your motive as a motive of causing chaos. Now, rather than allowing
describe my motive,
Mr. Bayo Onanuga, he wrote, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, can you hear me, sir? Sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. The presidential spokesperson, media advisor on information and strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, responded to this call of hashtag free Nnamdi Kanu. And one of the things he said is he described you as an anarchist, someone who derives pleasure in chaos, and said that why don't you let the judicial process take its course rather than having to go on this route or this route that you're taking on. I don't know if you've seen him tweet that in reaction or in response to this.
I don't pay attention to people like Bayo Onanuga. Do you know why?
Why?
Listen, Bayo Onanuga used to run a news magazine. A magazine knows that the news. And when the Nigerian military banned the magazine, he kept running it, which could be described as illegal, but we all supported him. So I can't be paying attention to such a person who had defied dictatorship and authoritarianism or fascism in the past, who is not benefiting from it. How do I pay attention to such a person? I used to help Bayo Onanuga sell photocopies of Temple magazine. It's called Temple. You can ask anybody. We take it to churches under the military.
Okay.
So how is Onanuga going to be the one who becomes the yardstick for judging what is right and wrong? He's just doing what he's paid to do or what he's asked to do. What I'm doing is what my conscience tells me is right. And that's why I was completely no longer having it when you started saying I'm trying to trap Peter Obi.
It wasn't me, sir, but I don't know if you could hear me. It's not me.
You guys just set yourself up to gaslight people with Peter Obi. And I'm tired of it.
Mr. Moilisho, one of the things that we anticipated doing here was to clear out all these things. Okay, in reaction, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, you're mentioning Peter, I said Mr. Bayo Onanuga, Mr. Shore, you're calling Peter Obi again. We're done with that aspect of the conversation. Let's look at the reaction from...
You can be done with it, but I'm not done with it.
Okay.
I'm tired of having your people in your station just make up stories about and gaslight people about Peter Obi. Peter Obi don't want to be candidate.
Now, you know that,
Just let him just get out of the kitchen.
you know, the Enugu state governor has currently defected to the APC. And one of the things he said today was that Nnamdi Kanu's only resolution right now to his freedom is for a political solution. You know that there have been talks. We've been talking about calling out the governors, calling out some of the senators to see how they can advocate. One of the senators in the House of Representatives, Obiagwocha, said that they're done with behind the scenes in talking about this, and this time they're going all out. But what would you say about what Potamba said about a political solution? A political solution was actually initiated by the recused judge who was in charge of his case, and that's Justice Binta Nyako, but nothing came out of it. What do you think could be the reason? Could it be, as you had...
The question to ask is, what's the meaning of political solution? As Peter Oba told you, what's the meaning of political solution?
That was basically what he said today.
But political solution is supposed to mean that this will result out of the courtrooms. The federal government is insisting that except an action is taken in court in which I have it on authority that they want to convict him at all costs, and then people are going to be begging them for pardon. That's the plan. If that's what Peter Oba means, then he's part of the problem. But political solution, as Mr. Femi Falana described in Abia State last week, is for them to leave the courtrooms, sit down and talk with Nnamdi Kanu and let him go home and become a free man. And maybe have some conversation and dialogue with him over what happens next. That's what I understand by political solution. But we also have Ojuzo Kalu, who was on TV today, just today, who said he's the closest friend of the president, saying that this has to play out first in court. And that's what we know their plan is. They have said Nnamdi Kanu must present his defense, because they have already thrown out his request for a no-case submission. And presenting a defense for someone who they know have no defense. The reason there's no defense is because it's not because it's guilty, it's because there was not a crime established. You cannot bring somebody from Kenya kidnapped, extraordinary rendition to Nigeria, and talk about political solution or a defense. He doesn't have to defend himself, because the process will bring him to court in the first place is fraud. Fundamentally, it's internationally unacceptable way of bringing people to court. So they don't have any evidence to show that Nnamdi Kanu committed a crime, but they want him to present a defense that they know he cannot. Even if you want to present a defense, you're entitled to have certain parameters in place. Somebody who is held up against his own wish, somebody who court has discharged and acquitted, and you say he can't go. Somebody who the Court of Appeal said the process of extraordinary rendition is unacceptable. You keep him in detention for 10 years, and you want him to defend himself. So the question you journalists should ask Mr. Peter Oba, Governor Peter Oba, is what do you mean by political solution? Interestingly, I got his number today and called him. He didn't pick. I heard it was leaving his old party to a new party. That's probably why. And I wanted to ask him to speak openly about this, only for me to read in the newspaper that he said it's going to be a political solution. But there's something we must be happy about, that this Nnamdi Kanu issue has been pushed to the front burner. It's a great development that everybody's talking about. But we are not just talking about it. We are going to make sure that on Monday something big happens to get him freed, whether they like it or not.
All right. Thank you very much for that response. Now, we've gotten quite a number of Nigerians who are ready to participate in this process. A couple of persons feel that whatever location they are, they will try to get there. I already know that some mobilization is ongoing to see how accommodation can be provided for some persons who want to stay over, considering no one knows how long it's going to be. But the main question is this. This may be something that is being done for the very first time. I recall one of your interviews. You had said that you wanted to do this way back in 2023, thereabout, that your first resistance was from Imo State. They told you that it will be done after the elections, that this is not the first time you're wanting to go through with this. So do you think that the leaders in the Southeast, especially the political leaders, have been the ones impeding the process for, accelerating the process of the release of Nnamdi Kanu? What's your take with that? Hello?
If you don't know that, go and hear what Ojuzo Kalu said today, then you know who are standing in the way of Nnamdi Kanu's release. He is repeating what has already been condemned and discarded, that a court case is a court case. That's all the strategy is, that this is a court case. It has to result in, and I can tell you directly, what they are repeating, all of them, they've had a meeting and said, this guy must be jailed by Justice Omotosho first, before we can discuss any political solution. So their solution is for the legal process to be rushed unjustly, unfairly, in a way that is not transparent, no fair hearing. Pronounce that Nnamdi Kanu is guilty, and then we start begging them for pardon and clemency. That is what all of them are working towards. You're hearing it from me. It's not the first time. I know it. That's the plan. They've reached out to me as recently as before I came on this show, saying, look, you're just wasting your time. We're not going to let him go. He's going to have to be convicted in court first. I'm revealing that to you on this show.
Very
That's their
interesting.
plan. And that's where the Southeastern leaders are all part of it. What Jules Okalu has just said it maybe 3 hours ago. So what else do I need to tell you? They are the ones standing in the way of his freedom because of their political careers and interests. They don't want Nnamdi Kanu to come out and upend what they've been used to. Federal patronage, popularity, rigging of election, wealth without work. That's what this is all about. They are ready to sacrifice him. He's just lucky that he's still alive. And that's what the public should know. But regardless of what they tell you, they're not interested in justice. Our legal systems, our court systems are not designed to give justice. They are designed to pronounce innocent people guilty and help the guilty get out of their guilt and their crimes. That is why the president of Nigeria pardoned 53 drug dealers. These are hardcore crimes, criminals, kidnappers. But they're interested in sending Nnamdi Kanu to the gallows first so that you can go and beg them, oh, please, now that he's been convicted. They want to convict him at all costs. They're hearing it from me for the first time, if you don't know before now.
A couple of Nigerians already.
And the Southeastern leaders are accessories to that conspiracy.
Okay, one of the reasons beyond your clamor is his deteriorating health. I think the past 2 court sessions, his legal practitioners could not hold it anymore. They decided not to be modest. They called it out and said that this is deliberate and there is an intention sort of for something to happen to him. Why do you think they are taking time in letting him visit the National Hospital?
I'm not pleading for him to be granted release based on health related issues. I'm asking for unconditional release. There's no way Nnamdi Kanu can get out of that place alive because they don't want to. Look, Nnamdi Kanu is the first person to go through this. I've been through this before, but I was held up in this country. I was charged with offenses that never existed. My passport was seized. What they want to do is compulsory conviction. They want to compulsorily convict him so that they'll have authority, power to say, hey, he has been convicted, now you can come and beg us. It doesn't matter. It happened, like I said, to Ken Saro-Wiwa before. They have set it up in advance. They do not believe that Nnamdi Kanu should be granted release. They want to convict him. They don't believe in fair trial. They have not presented any evidence known to law. The only person who, even after the witness who was hooded, said Nnamdi Kanu was not found with any weapon. But let me ask you, is it not the same country where terrorists and bandits are riding around on motorbikes?
As of yesterday, yes. As of yesterday, yes.
Yes, and having meetings publicly. They are walking around with guns and magazines around their chest, and everybody's happy. They even attend their weddings and child naming ceremonies. So, what could Nnamdi Kanu's crime really be apart from the fact that it's an Igbo man in a country that it is a crime to be won?
All right. Another thing to look into, Mr. Omoyele Sowore, is this. If, according to what you have revealed now, that the intention is to convict him at all costs, then after the conviction, then a form of political resolution or pardon or form of clemency will be begged for. Should that strengthen the spirit of this protest? If, with how you sound, they have decided and it feels like whatever anyone does, nobody cares?
Regardless of what they have decided, we are going ahead. And our position is that on that day, he must be released. They want to convict him. We would not allow an innocent person to be convicted of a crime he hasn't committed. In a country where people who commit crimes are pardoned, are venerated, they're celebrated, and they're granted red carpet receptions. We will not let that happen. And that's my position, that's the position of our team, and that's the position of all the Nigerians who have agreed with us that they'll come to Abuja on Monday for Nnamdi Kanu rally at the Aso Rock Villa.
So, you do know that some of the president's spokespersons, former aides to late Muhammadu Buhari, they've all come out to express their discontent about the proposed release of Nnamdi Kanu. I'm reacting to what Bashir Ahmed tweeted immediately, that call that you resonated for the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu protest. A couple of them are against it. The president's aides and the APC members, those who support the president, they have all said no to it. Now, if that is the case, and you're already being harassed by the traders, some of the places you visited yesterday and today, the DSS had gone to harass them. What would be the potential safety on that day for persons who come out for the peaceful clamor for the release of Nnamdi Kanu to the National Assembly?
You were here, and it's not National Assembly, it's Aso Rock Villa.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right.
Yes. We're aware of what happened in 2024 where we're planning end bad governance.
Yeah.
You saw how the mobilized Yoruba traditional worshippers walk around naked, the car park, garage thugs threatening openly, the DSS, the police, I think even the army was brought in to threaten us, but it didn't work. So how are we going to be dissuaded this time? It's not going to happen. our position is clear. If you don't want this to happen on Monday, you have enough time to do what is right.
Would they listen to you?
People.
Would they listen to this? Would they listen to this? This is a government that doesn't like any form of protest or dissent. So, do you think they will listen to this? Because a group has written for an approval for the protest to commence.
They don't have to listen to us, but they will be forced to recognize that the people in power are not as strong as the power of the people. That's the rule, and that's truth.
Okay. In as much as this is a very important cause, this represents others who are in the shoes of Nnamdi Kanu. We still have a lot of persons who are inmates in most of our correctional facilities, no trial, no proper representation, no financial aid to enable them. I know that you've been part of some causes like this to help some of these persons be exonerated. A situation like this, it happens, and it's a form of stigmatization, as some cross-section of the Southeast have complained about marginalization and lack of representation. So the question is this: beyond the case of Nnamdi Kanu and others who have fallen victim of something like this, especially some persons who attempt IPOB members without trial, what is the way forward?
We've identified some very notorious detention centers. One of it is Wawa Barrack in the Niger State, where they are dumping people who are termed IPOB members. Summary detention, some of them have been sick, some have died. They sent judges over there to carry out trials that are not fair, open, and transparent. We have asked that people march in those directions. There's a place called Tiger Base in Anambra State, some in Owerri, that will be visited by protesters. We are not going to accept anybody. Nnamdi Kanu is a symbol of this level of very terrible injustice done to Nigerians who are referred to as IPOB members. But everybody who's caught up in this unjust, Byzantine system of punishment because of their political or self-determination beliefs are going to be assisted to get out as soon as we can. Everybody will be given reprieve. That's the goal of this protest. It's not limited to Nnamdi Kanu. It's about everybody who's innocent but caught up in the terrible, very wicked, unjust legal system of Nigeria that punishes the innocent and venerates the guilty.
All right, Mr. Moyele, I've been told that you have to leave now. Do you have any final take before we let you go? We're
calling on Nigerians to join us in Abuja on Monday. Just find your way here. A lot of people are trying to assist people who want to come and find a place to rest their head overnight or the day after. But Monday is sacrosanct, and that's October the 20th, 2025. It's Free Nnamdi Kanu protest. Free Nnamdi Kanu now protest. And let me make it clear, because some people have raised eyebrows that that's also NSA's memorial. Nothing stops us from multitasking. And when there's plenty of injustices on our hands, NSA's memorial could also happen side by side with Free Nnamdi Kanu now protest. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Moy.
That is Sowore for you. I thought Sowore was going to be on the studio physical, but anyways, he explained, and no difference though. You see, Sowore is always quick to pick on anybody. Like I've said before, don't videos like this saying that the reasons why Peter Obi will not be able to join. No, we're not talking about Peter Obi. Do you understand? Peter Obi joining, you call out Peter Obi, you call out Chasoludo, Alex Oti, the Enugu State Governor, Peter Umba. That one is talking about political resolution, that is the only solutions. And Oji Uzokalo, that one is saying that the matter is already in court. He can't comment on the matter that's already in court. We should leave the court to do their justice, do their work. That's even, according to Sowore, it makes people to understand that, okay, they are not interested in Nnamdi Kanu's release, and so they want him convicted before they can beg for pardon. But all those things, and you don't expect Peter Obi, or this, like I said before, all these politicians to come and join you, carry placard physically, because it's going to affect them politically now or later. And now all this is just a political game. If I thought they are going to release Nnamdi Kanu now, is Tinubu, they are going to do that because of election in 2027, or at the case may be as they are proposing a bill now to election for November 2026, which that one, I'm not sure if that one is going to possible, Tinubu. That's another video though. That one is going to be possible. I don't think so. So if I thought they are going to do that, they are going to release Nnamdi Kanu to win for the vote of the Southeast. Anyways, and you saw with it, you said a lot. Peter Obi is not a child. Peter Obi is not a child. He knows what he's doing. And you know, especially somebody who is contesting for a presidential candidate now to come carrying placard to say, it doesn't mean that these people are not working, they are not speaking out loudly to finding the solutions, try to get Nnamdi Kanu out. No, they've doing all of those. So you don't expect them to come. Yeah, you just have to call out their names, not because you even mean it or because you know they are going to join you. For me, I know you already knew that they're not going to join you on this protest. The explanation according to that one, let's see how it goes. And on that day, like I said before, if Tinubu is going to release Nnamdi Kanu for you, yeah, he's going to release it for you. I want to see. Do we say Nnamdi Kanu should not be released? No. Does anybody who says Nnamdi Kanu should not be released, if I must tell you, are those people who are benefiting, or whose Kanu is exposing their secrets for the Southeast, or anybody who is against Nnamdi Kanu's release? Because as of today, I can't tell you the offense of Nnamdi Kanu. I can't tell you his offense, rather than being an Igbo man, or coming, or rather than is from the Southeast. So I do not see any offense, because if you ask me what has he done, what is his offense, he has not done anything different from what we see a lot of people are doing from the North. Nnamdi Kanu has not publicly come out with weapons, gun, on live televisions, whatever. You are not seeing weapon. We are not seeing any gun with Nnamdi Kanu. Every of his broadcasts or podcasts at that time, you have not seen where he's threatening people, where he's telling you what is going to happen in the future. He is a prophet. Everything he said that then, they are all playing out now, one after the other. You see what is going on. So he's just like a prophet who sees a thing and it come to pass. This is what we're saying now. Because of the way he get access to information, everything is, now people are tired, like, where are you getting this information, all those things? So Nnamdi Kanu speaks with his mouth, Nnamdi Kanu speaks with his mouth, is a freedom fighter, telling the government what to do, telling the country what to do, how to secure their boundary, how to stop your enemy before your enemy stops you. It becomes a problem. Somebody who is giving solutions, telling people what is going to come, what is going to happen, prepare for the rainy day, prepare for this day, so that it will not look as if it caught you unaware. He's telling you to get yourself prepared. What is happening today? Insecurity, different banditry from the north is terrorizing the country. This is what he was saying, telling us, telling the leaders, telling different regions to secure their border. What are we saying today? Now, he's a freedom fighter. He speaks with his mouth. Therefore, speaking out loudly, revealing a lot of secret, it becomes a problem. Yet, we've seen a lot of people, we've seen a lot of them eating or dining on the same bed, on the same house with government officials, with imams, clerics, traditional leaders. We see them with guns, weapons. This is not as if did you see it? It's everywhere. Attending meetings, attending weddings. They are not celebrity banditry with guns. They are not celebrating with motorcycle every time. Those people have not committed any offense. They are not violated any. They don't committed any offense. They are free to go. It is okay to threaten your fellow human being with weapon that the constitution is against. But somebody who speaks with his mouth becomes a problem. Even Sari Dukumbo that will come on social media live, revealing guns and other, threatening people to fight people, is not a problem. So anyways, this is Nigeria we found ourselves. So I'm watching. I am hoping that you are able to get Nnamdi Kanu out of this detention. Let's see how it's going to play out. And if it does happen, kudos to you. And it will be a shameful thing for the East, the leaders in the East. And anyways, let's see. So we are saying, anyways, what do you think? Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Be your guide. Don't forget me now. Subscribe.